Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching episode 6 of X-Men 97. So, after the incredible Genosha destruction last week, I didn't expect this episode to start with the Shi'ar war against the Kree, especially considering that Charles Xavier is actually going to be married to Lilandra, who's a princess of the Shi'ar. But her sister Deathbird isn't exactly pleased with her sister marrying an Earthman, so she decides to put Charles Xavier to the test by having him remove all of his memories of Earth and of his mutants. And Charles Xavier, of course, is not going to go through with that. So he manages to put every single major council member of from Shi'ar into the astral plane to teach them about coexistence. Meanwhile, Storm has to fight off the adversary demon, who's now infected Forge with a demonic bite, and it requires a specific aloe from a cactus in order to heal it. So they have to go inside a cave that was previously used by Union soldiers during the Civil War in order to find said cactus. So yeah, this episode has a big bombshell that, like in the comics, Xavier wasn't dead permanently. But hey, comic book characters come back after seemingly dying all the time, so I figured that Xavier wouldn't be gone forever, which probably means Gambit won't be gone forever either. It's something that I've accepted from comic books with with alternate universes, time travel, and all that stuff. Plus, Xavier pulling every one of the aliens into a classroom in the astral plane to teach them about the benefits of coexistence and not having any supremacy ideologies, it actually made a lot of sense with Xavier's character, especially since a lot of his philosophies are based off of Martin Luther King, in comparison to Magneto, who's basically the Malcolm X to him in philosophy. So, naturally, gaining equality through education and through having a hard chin and a soft hand, and that means a lot to Xavier. So him managing to convince these people through education and not through physical violence made a lot of sense with his mental powers as well. Also, it was just cool to see Ronan the Accuser again and to see the more alien characters of the X-Men series. Especially since the Shi'ar Empire are one of those alien empires that hasn't been covered by the MCU yet, despite the fact that the Skrulls and the Kree have been. Also, I really appreciate how Studio Mir gets to play around with Storm when she regains her powers after she overcomes her fears and doubt that were brought on by the adversary demon. Considering that Studio Mir also animated Legend of Korra, I couldn't help but be reminded of one of the fights in Legend of Korra when Storm regains her powers and she flies through those mountains that look suspiciously similar to the mountains at the end of Season 3 of Korra. Let's just be glad that Storm never had to fight Zahir. Let's just say that. But getting back to the episode at hand, we also find out at the very end that Master Mold was the one who was behind the Genosha attack, and that Master Mold's formula was found by none other than our good friend Mr. Sinister. Because apparently stealing Nathan Summers wasn't enough earlier on in the season, he also wanted to take out all the X-Men as well. So, this does actually tie into the previous arc with Cable making a brief appearance last week, and with Nathan Summers' techno-organic virus being a big reason as to why the whole thing started. So I guess it makes sense for Bolivar Trask to end up working with Mr. Sinister. But let's just hope that the final battle with Mr. Sinister in the season doesn't revolve around the X-Men having to do the Deadpool game thing, where they'd have to fight like a billion clones of Mr. Sinister, because that was not fun. But this episode certainly was. It had some shocking returns, it had some great animation, it had some great plot twists, it managed to use Xavier and Storm's powers very effectively, and it managed to conclude an arc while also setting up a new one. See you next time.